Stop scrolling. Before 2026 begins, you need to hear this, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Because the truth is simple, but hard to accept. Your old identity cannot enter 2026. Not your old habits, not your old excuses, not your old comfort zone. Not the version of you that keeps saying, "I'll change someday." That version of you has already had enough chances. Every year, people think change comes from a new calendar, a new year, a new date. But years don't change lives. Identity does. You don't get a new life by setting new goals. You get a new life by becoming a new person. And that's the part most people avoid. They want new results without letting go of the old self. They want success without discomfort. They want confidence without discipline. They want growth without sacrifice. And that's why they stay stuck. Let me ask you something honestly. If nothing changes about who you are, why would 2026 be any different? Same thoughts, same habits, same routines, same reactions, same life. Your identity is the invisible force behind everything you do. It decides how you wake up, how you work, how you handle pressure, how you talk to yourself when no one is listening. And if your identity stays the same, your future will too. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your identity. That's why motivation doesn't last, because motivation tries to change actions without changing identity. You say, "I want to be successful," but deep down you still see yourself as someone who quits when it gets hard. You say, "I want discipline," but your identity is still attached to comfort. You say, "I want confidence," but you still identify as someone who doubts themselves. And your brain will always protect the identity you believe in, even if it's destroying your future. So, before 2026 starts, you have to ask yourself a serious question. Who am I being right now? Are you the version that avoids responsibility? The version that waits for motivation? The version that starts strong and disappears quietly? Because that version cannot come with you. You can't carry old patterns into a new year and expect new outcomes. At some point, you must let something die so something better can be born. This isn't about hating your past self, it's about outgrowing them. The old you was built for survival. The new you must be built for growth. Survival avoids pain. Growth accepts it. Survival looks for comfort. Growth looks for challenge. Survival says, "I'll do it when I feel ready." Growth says, "I'll do it because it needs to be done." 2026 demands a higher standard. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you don't consciously choose a new identity, life will choose one for you, and it will not be the one you want. Your identity is built by repetition. What you do every day becomes who you are. Not what you plan, not what you promise, what you repeat. If you repeat excuses, you become an excuse maker. If you repeat discipline, you become disciplined. If you repeat avoidance, you become weak. If you repeat effort, you become strong. So the question isn't, what do I want in 2026? The real question is, who must I become? Maybe the old identity that needs to stay behind is the one that quits when things get uncomfortable, waits for perfect conditions, wastes time and calls it rest, avoids responsibility, blames circumstances, fears judgment, doubts their own ability. That identity feels safe, but it's also the reason you feel stuck. Growth requires betrayal. Yes, betrayal. You must betray the comfort that kept you small. You must betray the habits that feel familiar but useless. You must betray the voice in your head that says, "This is just how I am," because that voice is lying. You are not fixed. You are trained. And training can change. In 2026, you don't need to try harder. You need to decide differently. Decide that you are someone who shows up, someone who keeps promises to themselves, someone who does the work even when no one is watching, someone who doesn't negotiate with weakness. Identity is not something you wait for, it's something you practice. Every small action is a vote. Wake up on time, vote for discipline. Avoid the task, vote for the old self. Train your body, vote for strength. Scroll endlessly, vote for distraction. Do the hard thing, vote for growth. Your future self is being built right now by these invisible votes. And here's the good news. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to stop feeding the old identity. Stop reinforcing it. Stop saying, "That's just who I am." Stop protecting habits that are hurting you. Stop making excuses sound reasonable. Because the version of you that enters 2026 will decide the next few years of your life. Not luck, not motivation, not opportunities, identity. So as 2026 approaches, make this decision. Leave the old identity behind, the one that kept you comfortable but small, the one that talked big but acted small, the one that survived but never truly lived. You owe that version nothing. You owe your future everything. Now before this video ends, do this. Ask yourself and answer honestly. What part of my old identity must I leave behind before 2026? Write it in the comments. Name it. Expose it. Because once you name it, it loses power. If this message hit you, press like so it reaches someone else who needs this wake-up call. Share this with a friend who wants change but keeps carrying the old self forward. And if you're serious about growth, discipline, and becoming someone new, subscribe. Because your old identity can't enter 2026, and the new one is waiting for you to choose it.